Hey, hey, hey! It's time to talk paper 3 and conclusions. Dun dun dun! Actually, the conclusion is really set up throughout the essay in each body paragraph where you move into that evaluation mode. And in the conclusion, you're just sort of pulling together and expanding upon the evaluations you've been doing throughout the essay. Let's take a look. So the rubric says that our conclusions should summarize our evaluation. So we've been doing these evaluative comments throughout the paper. At the end, we want to pull them together, put them sort of in a new frame, put them in a wrap-up mode. And then we're going to try to answer this question. Based on what you've discussed in your paper, does this career still interest you? Why or why not? That's the language right out of the rubric. Let's go and see what Amy does with it. I think her conclusion is good because I think it really pulls together her thinking about special education and what she's learned about the kind of writing, speaking, and communicating and critical thinking she's going to have to do. So as she goes through the paragraph, she walks through the different skills. She walks through the different skills that she needs to look at. And then what I really enjoy is she doesn't just look through the skills, but she explores how she feels about it. So about midway through the paragraph, she says, critically evaluating information and information sources is another area I may struggle with a little bit, as I tend to be naive and optimistic and often like to believe things I hear or read. So it's a wonderful sort of self-analysis that she goes and does there. And then she talks about learning to work collaboratively with parents. And then she has this little, however, it also scares me a little as I will have to explain everything I do in great detail, which may be more difficult. So she's walking through the different kind of things that she's learned from this and really thinking, what does this say for me about this job? Is this a strength for me? Is this a weakness for me? Is this something I'm going to have to work on? And overall, how does it make me feel about the job? And her last sentence really brings it home. I'm striving to actively challenge myself and achieve my goal of becoming a special education advocate. She could have ended also with, this process has taught me that this job is not the right one for me, and I need to look for something else. Or she could have ended with, this process has taught me that I'm perfect for this job, and I'm going to love it because I love these skills, and I love this kind of exploration. So there's a lot of ways that this can go. The key thing is, again, going back to that rubric criteria, what we want to look at is how we kind of pull things together, and most of all, that we answer this question. Does this career still interest you? Why or why not? When we think about Amy's paragraph, clearly it does. If anything, she's more interested in the job than she was before. The experience of thinking about it this way, researching, making connections between GE outcomes and evidence from the book has convinced her this is the right thing for her. Whoa, sorry about that, bouncing around. But that's kind of what I really wanted to highlight for you about conclusions. The important thing is to answer that guiding question. At the end, based on what you've done, does this career still appeal to you? So let's see what you can do inside Blackboard as you do what will be one of your last drafts before you get into revising and proofreading and editing.